Hi, I'm Jenny and welcome back to my channel. Do you guys want to know how to make the very best pizza dough recipe? Well, you're in luck because I'm going to show you today. And we're actually going to make calzones out of ours today, so I'm super excited to show you. So stay with me and we'll get started. Hi, okay, so we're about to get started. I just want to mention that I am going to start this. This is about 8 hours in advance. Even better if you can do it the night before. Just mix all your ingredients, let it sit on the counter for 1 hour, cover it with a nice tight, airtight lid, and put it in the refrigerator until the next day. Okay, so the ingredients for this recipe are 452 grams of flour. And then we are going to need 316 grams of water. And then for the salt and the yeast, you can just use a teaspoon for that. It's going to be 2 teaspoons of your yeast. Make sure that your yeast is still alive. If you want to test it, just put it in a little hot water and a little bit of sugar and make sure that it blooms. So your yeast and then 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to mix the yeast in first. And the reason that we do this is because the flour will protect the yeast from the salt. So you want to get that mixed in first. If salt comes into direct contact with your yeast, it could kill it. So we don't want that. So now that's all good. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my salt. At this point, you're safe and you can add your salt. So I'm going to add my 2 teaspoons of salt. And the water, it's just hot tap water. Don't heat your water up in a pan or anything because if it's too hot, it'll kill the yeast. And I find that hot tap water works perfect every time. Okay, so I'm gonna zero this out and we need 316 grams of water. So I'm just gonna pour that in here. $3.12, $3.14. Okay, 316. Okay, so when you're mixing this, you do not want to overmix. We are just going to make sure that the flour is moist from the liquid. And then we are going to leave it on the counter for an hour, and then we will come back to it. And remember, this is gonna make 8 7-inch pizzas. So we have a 7-person family and everyone is gonna get their own. I'm gonna use the 7-inch pizza to make calzones. And everyone's going to have a calzone and then there'll be an extra one if anyone wants a little more. Okay, that is it. So now what we wanna do is just get a little olive oil. Like this, and just kind of rub that around. Make sure everything is nice and coated. And we are going to cover this with saran wrap and let this sit on the counter for an hour. Okay, we are back. My dough has proofed for an hour, and I am just going to divide this up. I'm going to divide it up into 8 portions. You just want to take those in half and then divide those halves in half. Real easy. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just going to shape each into a ball. Now remember, these are personal sized 7-inch pizzas that we are going to make into calzones for my family tonight. And then you just want to kind of pinch at the bottom and put your dough ball there. Just want to kind of get a smooth ball, and then you can pinch the bottom and then set it And we're gonna let this proof for about another, I mean, you can just kind of let it sit on the counter for another 4 hours or so. So you see how I'm just kind of folding that over on itself to form a ball. And then you can set it on your space here and just a little bit of tension, and it'll give you that nice smooth surface on top. I'm just gonna fold this over on itself, and then a little tension. Just really get that smooth surface, just like that. Once you work with dough for a while, you don't have to think about it too much. It just kind of comes naturally. All right, I'm about to put some saran wrap on top of these, but if you just add some oil. I love working with dough. I love the feel of it. I love using my hands for it. So soothing and stress relieving, and it always just feels good. And then it's kind of an art too, and it's sciencey. So it checks all the boxes, you know what I mean? And I just very much enjoy it. Not to mention, it tastes super delicious when it's all done. All right, so I am just going to top this with some saran plastic wrap. And then we will just let this kind of hang out. We'll let those flavors develop for a few more hours. And then I will show you what to do about an hour before we're gonna bake it off. Okay, so I was just gonna kind of show you guys. You want a good amount of flour if you're making this for pizza. And then that's it. Okay, so here is our dough. I just kind of let the weight of this hang to form. And then you can just go like that. Okay, so I just took a couple of our crusts and I was just gonna show you how we put the calzones together. For calzones, I always add ricotta cheese. So it's gonna have a little ricotta, some whole milk mozzarella. I am Italian and we prefer whole milk ricotta and mozzarella cheeses. So whole milk mozz, a little Parmesan, and that's gonna be our base. And then from that point, you can add any filling toppings that you want. So I'm just gonna add some mozzarella here that I shredded earlier. A little Parmesan. This is the Parmesan cheese wedge. I get it at Costco and it's a little bit more aged and it is delicious. And then this is just some prosciutto, a little salami. For the calzones, I don't ever put red sauce in it. I put it on the side and my family dips the calzone into the side of sauce. Okay, so then I'm gonna add a little more cheese because we like it cheesy. And then I just fold it over. And these are very home style, you know. They don't have to be beautiful. They're gonna taste amazing. And I just twist. It's a little sticky, it's okay. When you're talking about pizza doughs and bread, wet doughs are a little bit harder to work with, but they do produce a better outcome. Okay, so I am just going to put a couple slits in here to vent.
Whole lot of this.
That's prosciutto. You want that much? That's a lot.
I know, that's good.
Okay, we are gonna put these in the oven and bake them off, and I will be right back. Oh my gosh, looks so good. Hey y'all, my handsome husband is gonna be tasting dinner tonight.
That's right.
And now for the best part,
The taste test.
the taste test.
Oh, holy moly.
Cheese pool.
That's delicious, babe.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. That's so good.
Aw, on a scale of 1 to 10.
32.
32? Aw, thanks, babe.
Thank you, sweetie. I love you.
I love you.
Mmm.
Yay.
Oh, so good.
Yay.